Welcome guys. Today we are going to see the difference between compiler and interpreter. When we talk about programming languages, two categories, two types of programming languages. Okay, one is compiler based and another one is interpreter based. Compiler and another one is interpreter. Okay, so strictly typed programming languages usually comes under compiler based. So that means in Java, because Java is slightly different. We can talk about programming languages like C++, old languages, old languages like C++ and all those things, all those languages, C#, even Java. So what we have is we actually have compilers. And what it does is it compiles your source code to a binary code. So what you will actually do is when you use these programming languages, what you will actually do is you'll do your coding and then pass it to something called compiler, and the compiler will give you a binary code. So this is source code. You will pass it to something called compiler, and what you actually get is binary executable code. Binary executable code. In some programming languages, you will get a binary executable code. In some programming language like Java, you will get binary code. It's not an executable code. You still need an runtime environment to execute that byte code. We call it as byte code, but we are talking about the traditional programming language like C#. So you will actually do coding and you will compile it and it will actually give you binary file which is executable. You can just double click and execute the program. To execute this binary file, you do not require any runtime. You can run this on the operating system straight away. You can run your code on the OS, on the Windows or Linux. You can run your code on the OS straight away. You do not require any runtime environment. But programming languages like Python, PHP, JavaScript, when you actually do application development using this programming language, again you will do your coding. So this is your source code and there is no compilation process. So of course your computer do not know English because your computer never go to school. So the computer do not understand English. So what it does is it takes your source code, it goes line by line and convert that line into a binary code and send it to computer. So computer execute that particular line, a particular piece of code. So interpreter. So what interpreter does is it takes the source code line by line, right? It reads line by line. Interpreter converts the source code, which is written in English, to a machine level code so that it can get executed. Interpreter, So you get binary code also, but not the entire code. You get line by line. So it reads line by line and convert the line by line code to binary code. Meaning, if you want to develop application using one of these programming language, you must install the runtime. You must install the runtime on the machine where you want to execute your code. Meaning, let me explain with a very simple example. Let's say someone asks you, I have a clinic and I want a clinic management system. So now, if you choose any one of the language that comes with the compiler, what you will do, you will actually create a simple clinic management system. So you will install C# and develop application, compile to exe, which is nothing but the binary executable code, and the customer. So this is the developer PC. Yeah, this is developer PC. This is developer PC, and you will ship this exe file to the customer. So this is customer PC. Customer can run the exe file, can run the exe, no problem, can run the exe. So you will not share your code to him, you will just share the exe file to him. The customer will take the exe file and run the exe file on his machine without any installation. Any further installation is required. He just needs the exe file. So usually we will bundle it and we will call it as Windows MSI file. We won't just give us exe file, we will give him MSI file, which bundled with few other libraries which our application is required to run. So the MSI file will get extracted and installed on the customer's machine. And then there will be one exe file. Customer will double click the exe file and that exe file will start executing. So this is how you deliver the clinic management software to your customer. If you choose C, C++, not Java, yeah? Java is slightly different. Okay, now I don't want to jump into Java because it's not relevant to us. Yeah, but this is one type. Yeah, this is one type. But when it comes to Python, so what the developer will do, so this is the developer PC. So this is the developer PC. In the developer PC, we will install Python and then we will develop application, but we will not compile or anything like that. We will just develop the application. Install Python and we will develop the application. So this is on the developer's PC. Again, this is on the developer's PC. And this is customer PC. Yeah, sorry, I forgot to mention about that. So this is customer PC. So there is no exe file or anything. But here, we got exe file, whereas here we don't get any exe file. We develop the Python. And what we do is we send the exe file. Remember, yeah? Exe. Here, what we will do is we will actually send our source code to the customer. We will send the source code to the customer, right? Technically, you will send the source code to the customer's PC. Can the customer just run it? Oh, definitely cannot. So he has to install Python on his machine and run application. So this is customer PC. So when it's a Python based desktop application, right, the customer also have to install Python on his machine. Of course, there are third-party tools which are available, which can actually help you to compile the Python code to an exe file. We're not talking about that because that is not in Python website. That's third-party tool which can compile your Python code into an exe file. But we're not going to talk about that. We want to clearly understand Python is an interpreter. So if you really want to run your application on your customer machine or your friend machine, you must actually send the entire source code. So usually Python language is not used to develop desktop applications. Whenever we talk about desktop application like a point of sale system, and then we will actually choose either C, C#, C++. We will go for this kind of a programming language. We will not choose Python as a programming language. Similarly, PHP, JavaScript, these languages We will not actually choose these languages to develop desktop application. Yeah, you can actually do that, but usually we don't do that. Python is heavily used on data science, machine learning, network related programs. So where the network devices is installed inside the network device, we will install Python and we will put in our Python code inside that network device, and we will sell the network device like router, modems. So usually we will install Python and we will put in our source code inside the device and we will sell the device. You may not come across it. You may have seen people developing desktop applications using Python. I'm not saying that it never been done or anything like that, but the chances are very low. So usually people will go for Java, C Sharp, not even Java, they will go for C Sharp, VB.NET. There are many other programming languages which is very suitable for developing web applications. Sorry, desktop applications. So when it comes to web application, of course, people prefer to go for PHP or Java based. Python also can be used to develop a web application. I'm not saying Python cannot be used. Python can be used. But usually people will not use Python as their web application, as a programming language for their web application projects. So either they go for PHP or Java, or again, they will go for C Sharp.NET platforms. This is the two different things that you really need to understand. One is a compiler and another one is interpreter. And Python is an interpreter programming language.